this is a quick little demonstration about knots. I've actually put a fake knot in this piece of yarn here, as you can see, a lovely fake knot. Knots are pretty much an everyday occurrence in yarn. You won't find them in every ball by any means, but if you do find a knot, it's not out of the ordinary. It's just part of the process of creating a ball of yarn. If you see or find 3 or more knots in a ball, then that's when you would start to be a bit concerned and maybe get in touch with someone and say, "Oi, what's wrong with my ball?" Otherwise, you just need to treat them as a little puzzle to fix, and it's not too difficult. One thing to remember is that, you know, you're making something that you made by hand, and you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you make a mistake, then that's not the end of the world. And likewise with a knot, you know, you need to deal with it, and you can make it look as good as possible, and you just have to do your best. So we've got a knot here, and we know it's going to be coming up, and I think if I knit a little bit until we get close to the knot, then we'll work out how we're going to deal with it. Okay, so this knot's coming up. Now you can unpick it. It might be easier just to cut it, but I'm just going to unpick it. Unpicking my knot. There we go. Oh no. So now we've got this where we've got 2 ends. So what I would do here is I would start to hold my yarn together. So the new yarn overlapping the old yarn. And I'm going to just start knitting like normal. It's not really coming in. There we go. Need a little bit of jiggery pokery to get it started. So what you're doing here is you are using your 2 strands of yarn together, and at the same time you're weaving in the ends. So now we've finished our row. Just keep going with those 2 ends together. And then you can drop the one that's old. So now I can't really knit with that anymore, and continue with the new piece. So it looks a bit funny at the moment because it's only a few stitches. But once you've stitched out a few more rows, you won't even notice that there was any overlap. At the end of your project, this little end piece here, you can use your tapestry needle and just weave it in. And that's a really nice, easy way to do it. If, for example, you find a knot and you are luckily near the beginning of a new row, I'll just pretend we've got a knot. There we go. What I do, nothing too complicated. I would untie that knot. I'm going to just tie a little knot, tie my new yarn to the old yarn, and pull it up really close. And then just continue knitting with the new yarn. Again, keep a long enough end piece so that you can weave it in nicely at the end. It's always good, you know, when you're knitting, you'll maybe have a few little odds and end bits here and there where you've started a new ball of yarn, or you've managed to tie in a knot or something. And just at the end of the project, you'll just use your tapestry needle to weave in all the ends.